Question number 5, Phil Twyford.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is for the Minister for Building and Housing. Why did he issue a press release titled "First Crown Land Parcels for Development Identified" and take the media on a tour of the sites identified if they were only conceptual and not actually for sale?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, I announced 10 parcels of land totalling 9.5 hectares in Massey East that will be used for this program. I also identified 3 other areas involving about 14 parcels of land at potential sites which I said required more work. I also noted then that some of the sites in the program would involve both council and Crown parcels of land, and that is why the program was announced to developers jointly with the Auckland Deputy Mayor.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Phil Twyford.
Has he confirmed to Waikato Tainui that they do in fact have right of first refusal triggered by the use of Crown land for private housing development?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
No. The law is very clear that when there is land that is surplus from an agency, for instance in the example we are proceeding with in Moore Road, the first step is whether other government agencies require the land. The second step is whether the land wants to be purchased by the previous owner, and the right of first refusal is only triggered as a third step. I'd also point out that is exactly the process that was followed by the previous government with the housing developments at both Weymouth and Hobsonville.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Phil Twyford.
What was the outcome of his panicked meetings with Waikato Tainui and Ngāti Whātua yesterday? And can he confirm that iwi are planning to file court proceedings on Monday?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
No, Monday we'll see what occurs. All I can confirm at this point is the discussions were very constructive and in my view we will come to a common sense solution that will see houses built for New Zealanders, as much as that might frustrate the member.
Supplementary question, Joanne Hayes.
Thank you. To the Minister, has the Minister seen any other proposals for using surplus Crown land for housing?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Yes, I have. I've seen a proposal for government to build 10,000 homes per year for 10 years. The proponent claimed there was ample surplus Crown land available, that the development would be done by the finest construction companies in the country, and the homes would be on-sold to first home buyers. This proposal would require about 5,000 hectares of surplus land, but the proponent says you can't find 500 and that you should have iwi rights come before homeowners.
Supplementary question, Phil Twyford.
Has he reflected on the fact that by picking a fight with iwi over right of first refusal, he has put his entire budget housing policy at risk? And if so, who or what does he blame for this particular comedy of errors?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, my ministry met with the 13 iwi of Auckland a month prior to the budget. I would draw the members' attention to the number of iwi that have actually come out very supportive of the program. I remain confident that we'll be able to work through the issues with both Waikato Tainui and Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei.
Supplementary question, Pitapara Oni.
Speaker, tēnā no tātou. Application, supplementary to the Minister. What submissions or representations has he received from the Minister of Maori Development advising that he should not proceed with the current proposal for the release of Crown land in Auckland for housing?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, I've had 3 meetings with my colleagues from the Maori Party who have made very sensible representations. They are very determined to ensure that treaty settlements are respected, as is the government, but they also are very well aware of the high needs that Maori have for housing, and that is why I'm confident with them and with our treaty partners that we'll get a program that will work for Maori and which will get new houses built for New Zealanders.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Phil Twyford.
When the Prime Minister said yesterday that he had been sent to the regions Was this A to search out any new land for housing development?
Order. Member will resume his seat. Point of order, the Honourable Jerry Browning.
Mr Speaker, the Prime Minister made no such statement yesterday at all.
Order.
Yes, he did.
Order. Then the way forward is for the question to be asked, and that may well be the way that's handled by the Minister. Supplementary question, Phil Twyford.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. When the Prime Minister said yesterday he had been sent to the regions, was this A, to search out new land for housing developments, B, to consult local iwi on first right of refusal, or C, simply to avoid the government any further embarrassment?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, I'm actually very proud to do an arrangement that was made over a week ago for a launch of the government's RMA policies for forestry, because members on this side of the House understand how important forestry is to the regions. I spent the rest of the day meeting with Waikato Tainui and Ngāti Whātua, and any member of this House that was seriously interested in housing would be pleased that we're working hard to resolve those issues and get the houses built.
Order. Supplementary question, Marama Fox.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister, in an area of SHA, if houses have been built under mixed tenure, those houses then would be subject to being sold off in private home sales. Would the Minister not concede that that land then should have been offered to iwi under right of first refusal?
The Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, the Housing Act is very clear that where it is designating for housing purposes, that includes it being able to be sold on to homeowners. What I would say to the Maori Party is that we've shown how successfully we can partner at Weymouth for many houses, and I'm confident with this program we're going to be able to achieve similar results in our important partnership with the Maori Party.
Supplementary question, Peter Paraoni.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker. To the Minister, what contributions did the Minister of Maori Development make, if any, in the meeting yesterday with Ngāti Whātua and Tainui, the purpose of which was to try and dissuade them from taking High Court action?
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Mr Speaker, the purpose of my meeting with Waikato Tainui and also with Ngāti Whātua was actually they wrote to me and wanted to meet with me to work these issues through, and that's just what we're doing. I met again this morning with the Minister of Maori Affairs as we work through a solution on this issue, of which I think every member of this House that genuinely is concerned about honouring treaty settlements and getting houses built would support.
Supplementary question, Marama Fox.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister, given those discussions in the light of those responses, does the Minister not think that it would be prudent to be discussing with Ngāti Whātua the development of successful housing development in coalition and collaboration with them?
Mr Speaker,
Honourable Dr Nick Smith.
Absolutely, and that is why in the announcement I made last Saturday at Hobsonville, where we're going to be building 1,000 additional houses, part of that program in the village area is a partnership with Ngāti Whātua Kaipara, and they are the sorts of other partnerships that we want to pursue as part of this program.
Supplementary question, Grant Robertson.
In light of his answer about his visit to the Rotorua Forest, can he confirm when he was there he finally managed to see the wood for the trees?
Well, it's a very marginal question. Order. Members want to stay for the balance of question time. The Honourable Jerry Brown.
Mr Speaker, I just take a point of order and note, in fact, that that was the most cohesive and clear statement the member has made.
This is not going to be a point of order. Question number 6, Stuart Smith.